and welcome back to my homestead. Today I am at my friend's house who are willing to share their raspberry bushes with me. So see, this is the middle of October and it's a perfect time to transplant your raspberry bushes. See, raspberry bushes, just like any other bushes, they need to be in a good fertile soil, and when they get old they stop producing. So I only have a few bushes at home and I wanted to get more. So I know that my late Mr. Joe has beautiful bushes in his yard and his family are sharing some with me. So we came here to dig up some of these beautiful raspberries, and I'm going to divide them up and I'm going to be transplanting them in a new soil on my property. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig up some of these bushes. I don't know the variety, I don't know what kind they are, but I can tell that on the bottom there are new growths happening. So these are old, dead, that I'm going to be trimming, and I'm going to be digging up fresh bushes, and I'm going to be able to divide them up. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So you want to dig up a little bit away from the bush and loosen up the soil all the way around, so you're not damaging too much of the root system. Now, some of the horizontal roots is okay to cut, but you don't want to cut the main root of the bush. So this is one of the bushes. So let's take a look at this guy. So this obviously has to be trimmed off because this is the old dead one. Let me see how to use these little clippers here. So this dead one, I don't need it. I'm going to be clipping this off. Okay. But this bush is perfect for transplanting. So these old brown roots I'm going to trim as well. Okay. And I can trim up even the little edges as well. But see how it still has green foliage? I don't need this green foliage. And because I'm transplanting this late in the season, what I really need to save is about a foot or so of the plant itself. When I'm transplanting this in the fall, it's very important that the roots have enough time to take in. So there is no time for the plant to worry about its foliage. So this is what I trimmed off the stem. And I'm gonna come bring this home, and I'm probably gonna put this in a little bit of water. If I don't have enough time to plant it today. Okay, friends, so now it's a final step in actual planting of these raspberries. So we trimmed them about a foot, and unfortunately the soil was so sandy that it literally all fell off. So here's the plant itself. Because it's relatively fresh, I didn't have to soak it. However, if you do order your plants from a store online and they come in wood shavings or in some sort of a peat moss, soak them for a couple of days in water with honey just to re-energize your plants. But mine are ready for planting. Okay, so let me talk to you about the soil. Raspberries like good soil, like any other plants. They don't like acidic soil, unlike blueberry bushes. Those like acidic soil. But these guys not so much. They don't like alkaline, they like a neutral soil. And they like a well-drained soil with plenty of sunlight. So where I'm going to be growing this, even though it is in a tree line, but it's plenty of sunlight all day long, all the way from morning into the evening. So I'm not worried about the sunlight. Unfortunately, our soil is extremely sandy and rocky. Nothing grows in it. So we had to dig trenches, remove a lot of soil from the ground, and now I'm filling it up with compost. Yes, my friends, compost. That is the best thing you can grow your vegetables and your bushes in. So I have put compost in here, and I'm also going to be adding a few other things. One of them is I'm going to be putting wood ash. Not wood charcoal, but literally wood ash from my wood stove. Because wood ash is going to help with alkalinity. It's going to take that acidity out of the soil. Plus, it has a lot of good minerals such as potassium, calcium, and phosphorus. And raspberries need phosphorus, which is very difficult to find in non-synthetic fertilizers. Also, I'm going to be sprinkling, literally just sprinkling a little bit of my organic fertilizer. It's a plant tone, it's called, and it's 533. And again, I'm not promoting any products here. I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I'm just telling you what I'm going to put into my soil. So I'm going to sprinkle all of that, and I'm going to work it in, because there's some native soil is going to mix in, some compost, but I want to give my plants every fighting chance. Now again, I'm doing this in middle of October for my growing zone, because I know we're going to have another month, at least a month, before the real cold temperature will come and settle in New England, because I want to make sure that my raspberry plants will have enough time to establish roots. So we dug up 2 trenches, and we found that having trenches is easier to work with, because then I can add more soil. Even though the plants don't have to be planted very deep, as a matter of fact, they have to be planted just enough, just like this, okay? Just enough to cover the root system, and that's it, not deep at all. But you want to give them a lot of soil on the side and on the bottom, good soil. So my husband dug these trenches. They're about 2 feet deep and about 2 feet wide, and I filled them up with organic material. Now I'm going to be spacing them about 15 to 20 inches apart, okay, about 15 to 20 inches apart. And my 2 rows are about 3 feet apart. Ash goes first. How much ash? Literally, I'm gonna take a handful and just sprinkle. I'm gonna follow along with a little bit of my organic fertilizer. We try to avoid using synthetic fertilizers, simply because they often hide a lot of heavy metals, and we're trying to stay away from heavy metals in our soil. And now I'm just gonna cover everything with soil. Again, not very deep, just to cover the roots. We have finished planting our raspberry bushes. I am not going to water this right now, because the soil, or at least the compost we put down, is very, very wet, very moist, because we had recent very heavy rains, and we're expecting more rain tomorrow, so I'm not going to water this. But you may have to do that if your soil is very dry. Okay, so we're finished. I did this in honor of my friend, Mr. Joe Rutkowski. I hope you are having a good time in heaven with Jesus. And every time I'm going to be harvesting these raspberries, I'm going to think of you. So on this note, friends, I hope you are encouraged to grow raspberries, learn how to transplant them in the fall, and try something new.